What's up with y'all boys and girls, man? Hey, it's Jay Briggs here, continuing to cook up and break down some of this NBA action. Welcome back to Jay's NBA Jam Session, the best NBA betting podcast on the planet. Money making Friday, ladies and gentlemen. 9 games on the card, and I'm just here to let you guys know my thoughts, opinions, and how I see tonight's action playing out. NBA Cup night, man. It's been a really good week for us, and I'm just looking to keep momentum rolling forward. Tonight, I have my 10-star NBA Jam Session play of the week. This is the most money I've put on an NBA game thus far this week. I love tonight's play, man. I got a really pretty penny on it, and you guys can ride that play with me. You can scoop it up over at Pickdawgz Premium. There's a link for it in the description below. I have a plethora of plays tonight, though. I really like tonight's card, and I'm going to let you guys know my thoughts, opinions on every single last one of them right here, right now. Hop on something long-term over at Pickdawgz Premium. Smash that like button for me. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. But man, let's do what we do, which is kick the crap out of the books, betting hoops. I am 2-1 on my NBA Jam Session play of the week. We cashed it last week and the week before. I am 6 of my last 9 on my NBA Jam Session play of the day. We did drop it last night with the Utah Jazz. I thought it was a really good spot for them. They had the rest advantage. They were at home where they were undefeated ATS. It wasn't a great spot for the Hawks on a back end of a back-to-back with travel heading up into the elevation of Utah. Thought it was a good spot for the Jazz, but them Hawks is balling right now. Shout out to the Hawks. So we did drop it last night, but again, we've hit 6 of our last 9 on that play, and tonight's the game of the week. We're 2-1 on it, looking to go 3-1 after tonight. It's a really good card, man. So let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's make some money. Let's do what we do, which is kick the crap out of the books, betting hoops. And without further ado, man, let's hop right into tonight's NBA action. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get her done. First game on the board. Got the Miami Heat out on the road facing the New York Knicks. Knicks, 5.5-point home favorites, total 238.5. I like the Knicks in this one. I think this is a good spot to take New York. This is a bounce-back game at home that also happens to be a revenge game. It's Friday night, NBA Cup game as well, so they're encouraged to win by margin. This is a team that has already lost their first NBA Cup game of the season. They got dominated by Chicago in Chicago. They lost that game by 10, so they're already down 10 in the point differential department in the NBA Cup. You're going to hear me talk about point differential a lot tonight because of the NBA Cup, so buckle up, get ready for it. But also, I do like the spot for the Knicks tonight. Again, bounce-back game at home that also happens to be a revenge game. They're also coming off a loss. They lost their last game they played, which was at home against Orlando. Orlando came in there and beat them up. I was quite surprised to see that happen. The Knicks have been dominant at home this season in the Garden. Before that game, they had won 4 straight, all by, I feel like, 15 plus. New York has been a money printing machine in Madison Square Garden thus far this season. So coming off that ugly of a loss against the Magic, I think it's a good spot to take them. They also lost their first game they played this season against Miami down in South Beach, 115-107, I believe was the final score in that one. So it's a revenge game for them as well. I don't like the spot for Miami. Miami's coming off a pretty significant homestand. 4 of their last 5 were just played in Miami. They're coming off a loss where I thought they should have won that game. They dominated majority of the way through and fell apart late fourth quarter. Last time we saw Miami on the road, they got beat up by Denver, another really good home team. I think tonight the same thing happens. They get beat up by a really good home team in the Knicks, who are in a really favorable spot. Bounce-back game at home that also happens to be a revenge game. NBA Cup night, Friday night at home. You know, you get it. Give me the Knicks. Laying the points here in our first game of the night. We keep it rolling. Next game up, we got the Orlando Magic at home at the crib with the Brooklyn Nets rolling in. Magic are laying 13.5, total 224.5. The Magic are still the number 1 team on the do not bet list. I got to be completely honest. I really want to bet them tonight, and I likely will bet them tonight, and we'll see what happens. I was thoroughly impressed with how they beat up on New York in New York their last game out. The Nets are that bad. The Nets are the worst team in the NBA. I've told y'all that. They're 30 of 30 in my NBA power rankings. I also said I thought that game winner from Desmond Bane a few nights ago might be the momentum shifting moment for Orlando. You got to remember why Orlando's on the DNB in the first place. It's because they're one of my favorite money-making teams, And at home, at the crib, over the past couple seasons, we have been printing money. Play the damn theme song. You feel me? And I got an eerie feeling about this one tonight. And they're motivated to win by margin because this is the NBA Cup. So the talent gap between these two teams is this significant. Orlando's laid a couple eggs this season, and that's why they found themselves on this do not bet list. Whenever we've liked them, we thought it was a great spot to bet them. They haven't come through for us. So that's why I'm a little weary of betting it tonight. That's the only reason. Because every other reason I say they should win this game by 30 to 40 points. So I like that win against the Knicks the last time out. I'm going to take the Magic here, lay the points. We'll see if I'm cussing them out on Twitter tonight or not. We keep it rolling. We got the Philadelphia 76ers out on the road facing the Detroit Pistons. Pistons are 5.5-point home favorites, total 231.5. This is one of my least favorite games on the card tonight. 9 games. This is probably my least favorite. Reason being is the injury report. The injury report really put us a damper on this game. For Philadelphia, Paul George is still out. I feel like they've been saying he's going to be back this week. And next thing you know, it's the next week. So he's still out, of course. Joel Embiid's out tonight. But VJ Edgecombe is game time decision for the Sixers. Keep an eye on that as the day progresses. Detroit's injury report's no better. Cade Cunningham's game time decision. Jalen Duren's game time decision. Tobias Harris is still out. Isaiah Stewart is game time decision. Asar Thompson is out. Healthy Pistons, I would have no problem laying this number here in this one. I love what I've seen from the Pistons. We saw them take that next step last year, and this year they're supposed to be one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference, and we've seen those signs from them already. But as banged up as they are and expected to win by multiple possessions, there's just better places to be tonight, in my opinion. And I think Philadelphia has the offense to keep this game competitive, if not win it outright. Tyrese Maxey, he's been balling, and I think he has another really good game tonight. Forced to play it, I would take Philadelphia with the points in my back pocket. So probably my least favorite game on the card tonight. I wish the injury report was more cleared up right here, right now, to give y'all a better answer. But that's kind of my thought process on this one. Give me the Sixers plus the points. Let's keep it rolling. We got the Portland Trailblazers out on the road facing the Houston Rockets. Rockets are 7.5-point home favorites in this one, total 236.5. Houston, we have a problem. The Rockets are a different team, monster and animal, at home, at the crib. They're really of that ilk of stupid, dummy, crazy at home. I'm going to lay it here with Houston. Houston's motivated to win this game dominantly as well because of the NBA Cup. This is a team that lost their first NBA Cup game on the road at San Antonio. They lost that game by 11, so they're already minus 11 in the point differential in the NBA Cup. I think this is a good spot for them tonight to beat up on somebody they are head and shoulders better than. I like Portland. Laying a bundle of points on Portland is not fun. Portland is a team, a middle-of-the-pack team that's going to beat up on the bad teams and struggle to compete against the good teams. And I think this is just one of those cases tonight on the road against a team that's just head and shoulders better than them. The Rockets, man, this team has been balling. They've won 4 of their last 5. And again, because they already lost their NBA Cup, their first NBA Cup game, and by margin, they're motivated to come out here and dominate. Y'all know I love betting on home teams Friday night. NBA Cup adds a little to that. Rockets have just been a different team, monster and animal for us over the past couple seasons at home. They've earned their stripes. They've earned that respect. I want to fade Portland in this spot. Portland has struggled on the road against Miami, against Orlando. This is going to be their 4th straight road game. I think they get beat up in this one. I'm going to lay the points with Houston at home, at the crib. Keep it rolling. We got the Charlotte Hornets out on the road facing the Milwaukee Bucks. Bucks 8.5-point home favorites. These two teams just played the other night. Charlotte won that game outright. 111-100 at home in Charlotte. It just sets up a really good spot to take Milwaukee. I'm going to lay the points with the Bucks here in this one. Bounce back game at home that also happens to be a revenge game. NBA Cup Friday night game. We've heard Giannis come out and talk about how he cares about the money, how he cares about getting his teammates the money, from winning the cup. Like, come on, man. And then I do expect Giannis to play in this one. I don't think Charlotte will have any answer for him whatsoever. You have to remember that Giannis didn't play that game the other night against Charlotte, so you got to kind of take that game with a grain of salt. Point differential matters here in the NBA Cup. I know I keep saying it, but I'm just trying to remind you. Milwaukee should be motivated to take Charlotte behind the woodshed. I'll lay the points here with the Bucks here in this one. Keep it rolling. We got Minnesota laying the points on the Sacramento Kings. Kings 12.5-point road underdogs. The Kings, man. The Kings, man, they're coming off a significant homestand. They just played 5 straight home games. And what's concerning is they got blown out in 4 of them. They won the first one. They beat Golden State 121-116. After that, Oklahoma City blew them out 132-101. Minnesota walked in there, blew them out 144-117. Denver walked in there, blew them out 122-108. Atlanta walked in there, blew them out 133-100. So, the Minnesota Timberwolves have been playing good basketball, man. They've beaten up on pretty much everybody here recently. They've won 4 of their last 5. They're returning home. Last time we seen them at home, they won by 40 points over the Utah Jazz. This, honestly, if you just want me to be 1,000,000% honest, I don't want to lay the points with Minnesota here because this feels like a house of disappointment style spot. This feels like a spot where we trust them, where we want to bet them here, and they come out and lay an egg. How many times have we said that? There's a reason they've earned the nickname, the house of disappointment. But in that same breath, bro, I don't have the balls to do it. They're playing a really good brand of basketball. The Kings are that bad. Point differential matters here in the NBA Cup. The Timberwolves should blow them out here. They should. So I'm going to take Minnesota. I'm going to lay the points here in this one. They're already up 40 points in the point differential department. But I think they extend that lead. So give me Minnesota. I'll lay it. We'll see what happens. We got the Los Angeles Lake Show Lakers out on the road facing the New Orleans Pelicans. Pelicans 9.5-point home dogs, total 227.5. Lakers, man, they won their first NBA Cup game. They're +5 in the point differential. They're head and shoulders better than New Orleans. Coming off the ugly loss to Oklahoma City, I believe they come in here and take New Orleans behind the shed. New Orleans is that bad. They are 28. Yeah, they're 28 of 30 in my NBA power rankings. 30 is the Nets, 29 the Wizards, 28 the Pelicans. Not really much more to add here in this one. I just think the Lakers are a much better basketball team coming off an ugly loss. They should be motivated to win, and they should be motivated to win by margin. Fading New Orleans in New Orleans NBA Cup night is not fun, but they're that bad. You know what I mean? So I want to overcomplicate it. I think the Lakers bounce back and win this game dominantly. We got the Clippers and the Mavs. Clippers 3.5-point road favorites in this one. I lied. This is my least favorite game of the night. I said it was that Sixers Pistons. I lied. It's this one. And the reason it's this one is because both of these teams are on the D&B. There's only 3 teams on the do not bet list. 1, the Magic, 2, the Mavericks, 3, the Clippers. The Clippers just play like hot garbage through an entire home stretch where they typically play their best basketball. This is a team since the Intuit Dome opened that has won over and covered in over 60% of their games. And they just looked like garbage at home during that stretch. Now they want me to lay over a bucket on the road on Dallas. I can't do it. Dallas has their own problems. Dallas is that bad. I understand why the Clippers are a bucket favorite in this one, but least favorite game of the night. I will personally have $0 on this game tonight. Forced to play it, though. I say grab over a bucket in your back pocket with Dallas. And we'll see what happens in this one. So I like the Mavs plus the points, but I won't bet it. I'm going to tell you that right now. Last and final game of the night. We got the Golden State Warriors out on the road facing the San Antonio Spurs. Spurs are 2.5-point home favorites, total 235.5. We just saw these two teams play the other night. Golden State walked into San Antonio and won that game outright. I was quite surprised to see that happen. Because of how bad the Warriors have been on the road this year. They were reminding me of the Warriors 2 years ago. The Warriors 2 years ago were the most night and day team I've ever seen in my life. At home, they were the most profitable. ATS team in the NBA. On the road, they were the least profitable ATS team in the NBA. Bet them at home, fade them on the road. It was that simple with Golden State 2 years ago, and they're starting to remind me of that. Great win for them against San Antonio the other night in a bad spot. They were on a back end of a back-to-back with travel, still went in there and won that game. I'm fading them tonight, though. I still don't trust them out on the road, and I think this is a good spot for the Spurs. I think it's a good spot for the Spurs. Bounce back game at home that also happens to be a quick revenge game. Friday night at home, NBA Cup game. Spurs should be motivated. The first time we've already seen the Spurs look good in an NBA Cup game at home on a Friday night. Their first one, they beat up on Houston, an 11-point win on a Friday night at home NBA Cup game over the Rockets. So they should be motivated to do the same thing in the quick revenge spot against the Warriors. That's my thoughts here in this one. I think the Spurs are in a really good spot to bounce back and get their quick revenge. Still don't trust the Warriors on the road, and the Spurs have shown us that at home, they are a different team, monster and animal. So here in our last and final game of the night, give me San Antonio. Land the points. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. That's all. That concludes another episode of Jay's NBA Jam Session. I appreciate each and every one of you that continue to tune in, watch these shows, and watch these episodes. All I ask is that you smash the like button for me. You subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as I always say, man, if you're rocking with me, rock with me. I'm active on Instagram and Twitter all day long. There's a link for both in the description below. And of course, I have premium plays over at the site. Tonight, I have my 10-star NBA game of the week. We cashed it last week. We cashed it the week before. We're 2-1 on this play thus far this season, looking to go 3-1 on our game of the week after tonight. It's my favorite play of the week. And it's already been a dominant week, and this is my favorite play thus far. So you guys can scoop that up, Pickdawgz Premium. I'll have a plethora of plays tonight. I like the card as a whole. So let's do what we do, man, which is kick the crap out of the books, betting hoops. Appreciate y'all more than y'all know, man. It's been your guy, Jay Briggs. I'll see y'all tomorrow. I'm out of here. Peace.